Either it's Carl Irwin, the Common Magician, and I've got something interesting to show you. I've got a deck of cards here. I would need you to shuffle the cards, give them a good shuffle, make sure that they are shuffled to your liking. And once we have that done, we'll set the cards down right there. And we'll come back to that in a minute. Just remember, you shuffled that. I haven't done anything with it. I've got a pad of paper here. I just took it out of the kitchen drawer over there, completely, impromptu. Got a pencil, mechanical pencil. I want you to draw something. I want you to doodle something, actually. Doodling is different than drawing because it's abstract. You're just going to make some lines, designs on here. But I want you to, there's a couple of rules. I want you to use your non-dominant hand, and I don't want you to look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you actually turn away. If you're right-handed, I want you to take the pencil in your left hand. I will hold the pad upside down. I want you to look away, and I want you to just kind of draw around on the tablet as best you can. Just a few seconds. I'll tell you when to stop. Try to use up all of the space, okay? So go ahead. You can draw some straight lines. You can draw some curvy lines. You can try to draw an image if you want to, but just draw anything that kind of, wherever the spirit leads, we'll say, okay? So you draw, and we'll say that's probably good enough. Okay, so we'll stop you right there. And that's pretty fascinating here. We got a bit of a mess. We'll come back to that in a second. What I want you to do now is I want you to cut the deck. If you would cut approximately half the deck right there, and we'll just hold the break there where you cut, and we'll come back to that. I don't know, were you trying to draw anything in particular? You don't know? You're not sure. Were you thinking of anything in particular? No? Because I think you may have hit on something. I don't know. It's possible. It's possible you may have hit on something. Here's your drawing. Let's see where you cut. The King of Diamonds. King of Diamonds. I want you to look at this again. See if you can see anything pop out at you. Can you see K of Diamonds? You see it? All right, so this is an automatic writing feat. It is based on a Banachek idea from his series Psychological Subtleties, where he talks about pocket writing. Just very, very quickly, pocket writing is something that you do with a stubby pencil in your pocket. His gripe in the book series is that his pocket writing still looks terrible. Banachek, right? And his pocket writing still looks bad. So he has a procedure that he goes through. This is somewhat like it, where he does an automatic writing feat with his non-dominant hand, right? And I'll say that about it. What he does is he tries to play off of information, some idea that someone spouts off, and then he'll get a very distantly related word or term or image into the picture, and he will show it to people and let them find it. And if they find it and they realize how it's related to the other term, their minds are blown and they go crazy. It's kind of one of these magic eye things where once you see it, you can't unsee it, and you can't see anything else, and you realize, oh my goodness, this was on purpose, right? This is kind of like that. His idea is brilliant because it accounts for really bad pocket writing. Now, I don't do pocket writing. Not with this, okay? I do pocket writing with another item that we're going to look at here in a minute because we're on a series. And before I get to that, I want to show you something else, though. We'll take a card here, the five of spades. And what I want to do is I'm just going to set this on the table right here. I'm going to take another card, 7 of clubs. And I'm going to make kind of a little card house. You've seen this already before, and you could do this too if you took a couple of cards to match me. Once you get lined up, I want you to try this. Right? So we've seen this already. This is something we've already looked at, and I'm showing it to you again for a reason that I'll explain here in a minute. Another thing that we looked at earlier, I'll take a coin here, and I need a handkerchief. So we'll take the coin, and we're going to put the coin inside of the handkerchief right here, and you can feel it, right? If you reach over, you can feel that. Someone can touch the coin, put your finger out, and you can touch, see that the coin is in there. Now I want you to watch this very closely, because I'm just going to close this over top of my hand. Got the coin in the hand, handkerchief on the coin. Nowhere for it to go, out in the open. Just watch this very, very closely as we take the handkerchief away. Gone. Gone. Completely vanished, not in the handkerchief, nowhere to be found. Ideas, right? Ideas that we've already talked about using the thumb tip. This is not the normal kind of thumb tip. This is a thumb writer. Those of you that are in mentalism will get into nail writing or thumb writing, boon writing. There's different kinds of devices that accomplish this. This is the Vernay thumb writer, not exposing anything, because this is exactly the picture you see when you go to order one, right? It's not really a secret as to what it is. It's more of a secret that it exists. But again, this is a magic teaching channel, so don't get in a huff here. We have this thumb writer with a piece of lead on it, 2mm piece of lead, and I carry around a 2mm drafting pencil. It's got the same kind of lead. I've bought a set of these pencils with extra lead so that you can always replace this, and just, less than $10 on Amazon for pencils like this. Get like a set of 3. They'll last forever if you treat them nice. And of course you get a ton of lead that will last a very long time, not only for the pencil, but also for the thumb writer. And this comes with instructions as to how to replace the lead. But the idea there is that I can have someone write with this pencil, or I can write with a pencil, and I can match it perfectly with my writer. So that's my way around that. I don't have to worry about having a dull pencil or having a pencil, a school pencil or something like that, and trying to match it. I can have someone write with this, and I can match it dead on in terms of weight, thickness, consistency, and whatnot. So one little tip there. All I need to have is my pencil and my writer. The rest of the stuff can be borrowed. I don't have to have a deck of cards. However, using a deck of cards the way we did here means that I can be way ahead on the information, and my reveal can be a little bit more impossible. So I don't know if you saw what I pointed out in there, King of Diamonds. The idea there, though, to go off of Banachek, is that they don't have to see it. You only need a few people to see it. Right? If 1 or 2 people can see this, they will go crazy, because it seems so impossible, especially if this is revealed before the reveal. If this is in view and it never goes out of view, and you reveal the card and it matches something that shows up on the automatic writing, there's no way to backtrack that. The benefit here is that if you have them do the automatic writing, the pencil gets put down, it's out of the sight, out of the way, and you can actually flash their image because it's complex. Nobody will see anything in there. All I need to do is I need to add to it with my thumb, right, in full view, and it doesn't have to look pretty. It can be really, really ugly. All I have to do is add something that is that can convey the information I'm trying to portray. In as little strokes, as few strokes as possible, right? So for example, let's say they do this, right? And it's hardly anything. I would just flash this real quick after it's done. And then let's say that the reveal is going to be Ace of Diamonds, right? What I need to do is I need to add to this Ace of Diamonds. If I look at this, it already has something that looks like an A on it. So as I analyze it, I just kind of latch onto that. And then I need to add the diamond. So I just add the diamond figure, right? And then I can come back and I can point this out. And I can say, I don't know if you see this, right? Before I do my reveal. looks kind of like an A. And I see like a diamond figure there, right? And then you do the reveal. You just work with what you have and do the least amount of writing. Okay, so automatic writing, mentalism, they do the writing, you supply the pencil, you've got a thumb writer to match, you're prepared to do impromptu mentalism, automatic writing with this. Off of this, the Steve Shaw Banachek idea, you can have them name an idea or a thought, and you can put an obscure, distant, related term or picture on the automatic writing and try to point it out or have them find it or whatever. Really, really clever. Not everybody has to see it, just enough people have to see it. It works really, really well. Okay. So with cards, without cards, doesn't really matter. A few other ideas on this before I close out this whole thumb tip stuff. This is not really an unorthodox use of a thumb tip, but what it is it's an unorthodox application of a thumb writer as a thumb tip. Because what I'm showing you here is that this can do 75%, 80%, 90% of what we've been talking about. Right? I can do the standing card effect with that. I can use this as a structure. Right? I can use this to mimic a borrowed ring because it still is a thumb tip. Right? I can still make the ring vanish. I just have to watch my lead. Whenever I do my reveal, I end here, right? Finger on it, right? Nothing there. When I open undercover. You know, I'm clean. I'm as clean as I am with a thumb tip, even more so because I've got my edge here cuts before my joint, right? So I can use it for that. I can even use it as a holdout. Let's see, where's my spoon at? So if you remember, we talked about the holdout device idea. So I actually have my spoon here on my thumb writer, and if this is behind the fingers, you don't really have to cover that lead. But I can still ring in my spoon. It wasn't done very well, but I can still ring in my spoon, right? I can use it as a holdout device. If you already carry around one of these, or if you do a nail writer or a boon writer, maybe consider doing this because you can get a lot more with it, right? I have the structural element, standing card. I have the sound element. You know, the coin vanish situation, right? Gone. I can use it for all of those other ideas that we talked about, as long as I'm not vanishing a silk or doing a bill change, because I wouldn't be able to put that in there. You could even play around with getting a regular size thumb tip and poking a hole and putting your thumb writer boon. There's really just a boon writer in there, or just get a boon and stick it in there, you know, holds the lead, and do billet changes. Put a magnet in there too. I mean, you could really supercharge this thing. I mean, maybe that's beyond the pale, but there's a lot of potential there for mixing and matching ideas to get a really versatile piece of equipment that can do a million things that are very unorthodox. So I think we'll call that it. I'm sure there's a lot of other ideas that you can have out there. But again, I'm trying to limit this to using a normal piece of apparatus that you normally carry around with you and getting a lot of other alternative uses out of it to get you a whole set of magic that you otherwise didn't realize that you had. Just from a thumb tip, a regular thumb tip. And in the last videos, maybe 1 or 2 videos we'll do here, we'll see what we can cover in one. We'll talk about sizes of thumb tips, color of thumb tip, the way it's supposed to be worn, where to get them, what is good, what is great, what's good enough. We'll talk about handling, some other good sources for thumb tip handling, and a little bit more philosophy on it, just to kind of bookend all of this. One last idea, just kind of off of this, but on the mentalism note, Post-it notes. I don't do pocket writing with a stub. I have done a little bit of pocket writing with Post-it notes. I found that a Post-it note of this size works really well if you have a full pad. It's a very solid structure to write on. And what I do is I keep it with the writing side against my leg in my pocket. So it's like this against my pocket, thumb writer in there. I can pick up the thumb writer. I can cradle this in my fingers and I can write against it like this. One last tip is that if you take the top page and fold it, just give it one pre-fold, maybe loosen it, and then push it back up and leave that in there. What you can do is you can thumb write simple things, not words, but maybe a number, maybe a card identity. I don't know. See here, we got 10 of clubs, right? So I could do a 10 and maybe a C in there. And as long as I can justify it, this is in my pocket, I've done my writing, I can close this up by pressing down on it. I can dump my, my writer, or I can peel this off, take this out of the pocket, and now I've got a folded note. It's only one fold, but it's been written on, right? That's good enough. It doesn't look like I could have done it. And I've got my reveal, you know, 10C, 10 of clubs on there. So simple stuff, get out of jail free kind of things. If you absolutely had to use it, you know, if you can find a justification for that kind of note in the pocket, you can do some pocket writing. I find that it's easier to do with the thumb writer than it is with a pencil in the pocket. So simple thumb writing with a thumb writer, pocket writing rather with a thumb writer in the pocket, small post-it notes in the pocket, writing side against the leg. Just a few more ideas to share with you that I've experimented with. Anyway, that's it. Thumb writer, another type of, you know, false thumb or thumb tip that can do unorthodox things. Most of what we've talked about, besides the biggies like bill switch or vanishing a silk, right? We're not really talking about that. We're talking about all the other things. So if you already carry one of these, you can do a lot of those things too. Okay. So anyway, there it is. Good luck with that. Happy magicking.